let's solve this quadratic equation using both completing the square method and the factorization method. The first method I'm going to use here is completing the square method. So we have here x squared plus 6x minus 16 equals 0. Okay, we're going to be using simple easy steps to solve for x in this equation. Just watch how we do it, and I assure you, if you follow these steps, you will find it very easy to do. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do here is to add 16 to both sides of the equation. I want to move this 16 to the right hand side, so it becomes x squared plus 6x equals 0 plus 16. Now we have x squared plus 6x equals 16. Okay, at this point now, the next thing to do is to find the half of the coefficient of x. The coefficient of x in this equation is 6. So we're going to find the half of 6, and then we square it and add it to both sides of the equation. This is what I mean. So we have x squared plus 6x plus 6 divided by 2 all squared equals 16 plus 6 divided by 2 all squared. You understand what I've done here, right? So we have x squared plus 6x plus 2, we go into 3. Okay, I will leave it this way, 3 square. I will not simplify further. Then I have here 16 plus 2, we go into 3, and 3 square is 3 times 3, and that's 9. Okay, I'm intentionally leaving this square without simplifying for some reason, which I will tell you as we move on. Okay, now we have this, right? So we have x squared plus 6x plus 3 squared equals 16 plus 9 is 25. Now, at this point, we'll need to factorize this expression at the left-hand side. And to do that with ease, we simply open the bracket. We have x plus, because this is carrying a square too, we just move it here and we square it. Are you surprised at what I've done? Because by the time you expand x plus 3 all squared, you arrive at this original expression. Let me show you what I mean. So if you have x plus 3 all squared, it means you should multiply by itself, right? So that gives us x times x will give x squared. X times 3 will give us plus 3x. Plus 3 times x will give plus 3x. Plus 3 times 3 will give plus 9. If you add up and collect like terms, you have x squared plus 6x plus 9. X squared plus 6x plus 9 is equal to x squared plus 6x plus 9. So this is very easy to do. Instead of converting and you start looking for, and you begin to look for two numbers that will add up and multiply, you simply follow this step and it's very easy to factorize. Now we have this equals 25. If you have followed me up to this point in this video, that shows you are enjoying the lesson, and I sincerely appreciate you for that. But if you are yet to subscribe, kindly support me by subscribing to my channel. Put on your post notification so that when next I post any video, you would be the first to see it. Thank you. Okay, so at this point now, we'll need to eliminate this square. So what we have to do is to find the square root of both sides of the equation, so that we have here the square root of x plus 3 squared equals the square root of 25. Take note, when you are finding the square root of both sides of an equation, you bring in your plus or minus sign. So this square, we cancel out this square root. We have x plus 3 equals plus or minus 5. The square root of 25 is 5. Now we have to subtract 3 from both sides of the equation. If we do that, we have x equals minus 3 plus or minus 5. So x equals minus 3 plus 5 or minus 3 minus 5. Therefore, x equals minus 3 plus 5 is 2 or minus 8. And this is our answer. For our second method, I'm going to be using the factorization method to solve for x in this equation. So what I'm going to do here now is to find two numbers that are factors of 16. Now when I multiply those two numbers, it will give me minus 16. And when those two numbers are added, it will give me plus 6. Okay, so to do this with ease, I'm going to find the factors of 16. So the factors of 16, we have 1, 2, 4, 8, and 16. Now, two numbers that we need that will give us plus 6 and minus 16. The two numbers that fit into that category here is 2 and 8. Remember, we are looking for a negative 16 and a positive 6. So that means, because if we need a positive 6, the bigger number will carry a positive sign and the smaller number will carry a negative sign. So that when you add up these two numbers, minus 2 plus 8 will give plus 6, and minus 2 times 8 would give minus 16. Now we know the two numbers. We are now going to use these two numbers to replace this middle term here. So we have the two numbers as minus 2 and plus 8. So that we have here x squared minus 2x plus 8x minus 16 equals 0. Guess you understand what I've done here. Minus 2x plus 8x will still give you this middle term 6x. Okay, now I'm going to factorize with ease. I'm going to group it in twos. Okay, so this would be our first group. This will be our second group. Now we will need to factor out what is common between these two terms in the first bracket. The common term here is x, so I'll factor it out. And then I have x squared divided by x, I'll have x left, minus 2x divided by x, I'll have 2 left, close the bracket. Then I bring back the plus sign. The common term here is 8, to be outside the bracket. 8x divided by 8, I'll have x left, the minus 16 divided by 8, I have 2 equals 0. Did you notice we have common term at both brackets? So I'm going to pick one of them. I'll bring out the terms outside the bracket first. X plus 8. And then we have x minus 2 equals 0. Right? So it's either x plus 8 equals 0 or x minus 2 equals 0. So if I subtract 8 from both sides, I have x equals 0 minus 8, and that gives me x equals minus 8. If I add 2 to both sides, I have x equals 0 plus 2 and x equals 2, and this gives us our final answer. I hope you found this very easy to understand. If you did, please do not forget to leave me a comment, like this video, share, and follow.